Whispering Forest. Nobody in Black Hollow goes into the forest after sunset. Not because of animals, not because of getting lost, because of the whispering. It doesn't start loud. It starts like wind through leaves, like branches brushing together, like your name carried softly between the trees. And if you answer, it answers back. I didn't believe any of it. I moved to Black Hollow for quiet, remote job, cheap cabin rental, peace. The forest wrapped around the town like a wall, tall pines, thick undergrowth, no clear trails unless you knew them. The locals avoided eye contact when I mentioned hiking. "Don't stay past dusk," the cashier told me once. I laughed. That was my first mistake. The first time I heard it, I thought it was wind. I'd gone in around 6 p.m., sun still up, gold light cutting through trees. It was beautiful, almost staged, too perfect. Around 7:30, the light started thinning. Shadows stretched unnaturally long. That's when I heard it. A faint murmur, not random, rhythmic, like overlapping voices speaking just below comprehension. I froze. The forest was completely still. No wind, no birds, just whispering. I told myself it was auditory pareidolia, the brain turning randomness into patterns. I started walking back. The whispering followed. Not from one direction, from everywhere. It didn't get louder, it got clearer. Not words, but syllables, almost forming language. Then I heard it, my name. Soft, drawn out between branches. I didn't answer. The whispering stopped instantly. The silence felt heavier than the sound. I left before dark. Back at the cabin, I tried to rationalize it. Wind tunnels, sound carrying through valleys, psychological suggestion. But at 11:47 p.m., I heard it again. Not outside, inside the walls. Soft brushing, murmured syllables. Right behind my bedroom wall. The forest was half a mile away. The next morning, I checked the exterior wall. There were pine needles gathered along the base. That wasn't strange. What was strange, they were arranged, spiraled, like something had placed them carefully. I didn't go back for 3 days, but curiosity is louder than fear when you think you're still in control. I returned in the afternoon. This time I brought a voice recorder. If there were whispers, I'd capture them. Prove it was wind. Around 7 p.m. it started again. Faint, layered. I held up the recorder. The whispering intensified immediately, like it noticed, like it was responding. Then clearly, "Stay." I dropped the recorder. It hit the dirt. The whispering stopped. I grabbed it and ran. Didn't look back. Didn't stop until I hit the road. When I replayed the audio later, my stomach dropped. There was no whispering, only my breathing, and one clear voice, my own, saying, "Stay." That night I dreamed of trees growing through my bedroom floor, roots sliding across the carpet, wrapping around my wrists. Not tight, just enough to keep me there. And the whispering wasn't outside. It was inside my head, repeating the same phrase. "You left." The next day I found dirt on my bed sheets, pine needles on my pillow. I locked my doors every night, every window. The forest was coming closer. On the 4th visit, I went at dusk intentionally. If it wanted me there at night, I'd face it. The forest felt different, thicker, like the trees had shifted closer together. Paths I'd taken before didn't line up. Landmarks were wrong. I checked my phone. No signal, no GPS, and then, the whispering didn't start gradually this time. It began fully formed. Dozens of voices overlapping, urgent, excited, anticipating. They weren't saying my name anymore. They were finishing my thoughts. When I thought, "I need to leave," the forest whispered, "You won't." When I thought, "This isn't real," it replied, "It is." I turned in circles. Every direction looked identical. The trees felt taller, leaning inward, closing. Then I saw something that made my blood run cold. carved into a tree trunk. My name, fresh, sap still leaking from the cuts. Below it, a second name, the previous cabin renter. I remembered the landlord mentioning him. Left suddenly, she said. No forwarding address, no explanation. The whispering softened, almost gentle now, like coaxing. Stay. I backed away from the carved tree. My heel caught a root. I fell. The forest floor felt warm, not sun warm, body warm, like something breathing beneath the soil. And then I understood. It wasn't the trees whispering, it was the ground. The earth pulsed faintly under my palms, like lungs expanding. The entire forest inhaled, exhaled. The sound wasn't wind, it was breath passing through roots, through trunks, through leaves. One organism, connected, aware. And it had been listening to me since the day I arrived. I scrambled up and ran. Branches clawed at my jacket, but not randomly. They hooked into fabric, pulled backward, holding. The whispering turned frantic. Don't leave. Stay. You belong. I broke through a thin line of trees and collapsed onto the road. The whispering stopped instantly, like crossing an invisible boundary. I packed that night, didn't sleep. At 3 a.m. I heard a soft tapping at the window, branches brushing glass. But the nearest tree was yards away. I didn't look. I didn't need to, because I heard the whisper clearly this time, inside the room, right behind me. You promised. I don't remember promising anything, but maybe I did. Maybe stepping into the forest was consent. Maybe listening was agreement. Because when I tried to leave town the next morning, my car wouldn't start. Battery dead. Brand new battery. I looked at the tree line across the road. The trees looked closer, subtly, impossible to measure, but closer. People in town don't talk about it. They just stay away after sunset. They know the rule. Don't answer. Don't respond. Don't listen long enough for it to learn you. Because once it learns your voice, it can use it. Last night I stopped fighting it. At dusk I walked back in. No phone, no recorder, just me. The whispering started immediately. Not threatening, welcoming. I walked until I reached the carved tree, my name still fresh. Below it, space, waiting. The ground felt warm again, breathing, slow, steady. Inhale, exhale. And I realized something terrifying. The whispering isn't trying to trap you. It's trying to replace you. The forest doesn't take bodies. It takes voices. Every whisper in the trees was someone who answered. If you ever walk through Black Hollow and hear your name carried softly between the trees, don't reply. Because the forest doesn't need your body. It just needs you to speak. And once it learns your voice, you'll hear yourself calling the next one in. From everywhere. Forever.